This is an amateur class, A-class bout, court number 3, junior round. Your first fighter, stepping into the cage and fighting out of the blue corner, Matt Pickering!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FCC 7. We have a catchweight bout coming up next for you, and the first man entering the cage is Matt Pickering.
And Matt is quite an interesting character. He's a local lad, studied in Liverpool, just completed his Masters there. Now, like many of us who have been to university, don't often take care of ourselves at all, and it came out in January weighing 109 kilograms, Brad. 109, huge. Decided to take a bit of the initiative and return to training of some form and join Team Mushin over there. Now, although he's only been training MMA for that short period of time, what he does have is a huge amount of Sambo experience. He was actually a British Open silver medalist. So by no means this guy is you know, an amateur guy. He's got some serious pedigree behind him at a high level. Whether he can bring that to an MMA, to the MMA sport, to the MMA discipline is another question. But yeah, he's no joke.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that Sambo experience. Unfortunately, you know, Sambo is known for its heel hooks, and unfortunately, under these unified amateur rules, he's not going to be able to use those twisting leg locks. So perhaps that's going to be a slight disadvantage. But what we know about Sambo guys is that they're usually really great in the clinch, and they have great throws. So perhaps we're going to see some flashy throws here out of Mr. Matthew Pickering.
Yeah, and some useful arsenal there already. He's here with FCC regular comedian James Reese, and having that camp around him, he's very relaxed. And you know what he said to me was like, "Look, this is my first MMA event. This is my debut, but where I want it, where else? Here at FCC."
What a great place to make your amateur debut as well.
And his opponent, stepping into the cage and fighting out of the red corner, Ash Rath!
And what a name for an MMA fight to have, Ashley Rath. It's a name that really needs to be lived up to, and we're going to see just what Ashley Rath can do, fighting out of incorporated grappling, and a fantastic walkout track for Ashley Rath as well. He's already scored 2 points in my book. Fantastic name, fantastic walkout tune.
He's only got one part left to fulfill, and that's by putting on a impressive display. Now, Ashley's only been training for 7 months. He took this fight on only a few weeks' notice, so yeah, a big step up for him. He's friends with a former FCC fighter, Grant Kirby. We saw him at FCC 5. And now he knows his opponent is extremely dangerous, and I did sense a few nerves, and I wouldn't blame him, because, you know, what's standing ahead of him is quite a big task. But, you know, you've got to beat the guys in front of you, and that's what he's got here. And yeah, I mean, I think what he'll look for is to take down himself and try and control the ground and try and control the fight on the floor. Whether he'll have that opportunity or not, we'll soon to see. But yeah, this one is testing itself to be a very tasty fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, now to official introduction. The fighter, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 77.3. He's 27, stands 5'11". He fights out of Team Mushin and hails from Liverpool, Matt the Viking Pickering. His opponent, fighting out of the red corner, weighing at 80.5. He's 23, stands at 6'2". He fights out of incorporated grappling and hails from Bury, Ash Rath. Your referee, Mr. Mark Adams.
This bout is sponsored by ARD Industrial Services, the leading environmental and industrial services contractor. You can visit them at www.ard.co. Let me start again. www.ard.uk.com. Sorry about that, fella.
Put your teeth in, Jez, as these guys attempt to knock some teeth out. We've got Matthew Pickering, the Viking, who's the guy who looks like a Viking in the red shorts, and Ash Rath in the black, and the Viking throwing out some very flashy kicks to start this one off, Jez.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I couldn't get my words out. I was too excited about the prospect of this fight.
And Pickering landing some nice kicks. Bit of a taekwondo style about him, never mind Sambo. And he's throwing them high, he's throwing them low, he's throwing them to the body. Ash Rath looking like the slightly more orthodox striker out there, and now Pickering clinches up against the cage. Let's see if we see that Sambo background come into play now. Let's see if he can really use those hips to elevate his man and throw him, and there it is! But he's given up the position, and Ash Rath is now on top in full mount, Jez.
But a good buck roll there from Matt Pickering to regain top position there. Overcommitted on that throw, almost sacrificed position, but here is where he wants to be.
Pickering now trying to create some space, trying to posture up, and Ash Rath is doing a good job of keeping him locked down there.
Yeah, Ash doing well. He avoided those kicks. There was a lot of flashy kicks coming on there early in the round, but duck to weave, no connection, survived that storm, and looking to wrap his opponent up here, pulling the head down, wrapping the arm up. Textbook work here from Ash.
Pickering finally able to create some space, moves straight into mount and starts dropping bombs. Big shots from the mount here by Matthew the Viking Pickering. Referee taking a close look at this one. They're not all landing cleanly, but there's certainly some zip on those punches. Rath doing a good job of defending, but he's going to have to improve his position if he wants the referee to let this one go, and that's enough. Matthew Pickering pounds out with a fantastic TKO win here early in the first round at FCC 7.
Yeah, and I think it's a very, very first performance. We're going to see a lot from this guy. He's hot property. I think, you know, he's really going to establish himself well in FCC, and I don't think it'll be long. Get a couple more fights on this belt, and this guy could be in for a title contention, because this guy's got a huge amount of pedigree.
Absolutely, some fantastic technique there. Very flashy kicks. Certainly a crowd pleaser, but also skills on the ground from Matthew Pickering. I can't wait till we see him back in the FCC cage. And here's Saif Khan to make it official.
Fighters to the center of the cage, please. Fighters to the center of the cage. Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute 56 seconds of the first round by way of TKO, your winner, Matt the Viking Pickering. Please show your appreciation for Ash Rath.